is Kent Hillhouse. I'm the president of the Los Gatos Veterans Foundation and Support Group. I was, when I graduated from college, I was in ROTC, and when I was commissioned in 1966 as a second lieutenant, I became a soldier in the Army. Deployed to both I Corps and 3 Corps. 3 Corps primarily, I Corps for a couple of months with Task Force Oregon, which was the predecessor to the 23rd Infantry Division. We went back, rejoined our regiment down in 3 Corps, and we spent most of our time either in the Iron Triangle, Michelin, Plantation area, or during TET, we were down in TET area we road marched in there for 18 hours and spent about 4 days there. I was Army. I was a platoon leader in the tank company. I was a tank commander, and I oversaw 5 tanks in tactical situations in combat. That was interesting. First of all, we went down to the BNY Air Base. This was in late July. I had my orders to go home, and we boarded a 707 TWA charter flight. There were 175 guys who got off that plane. It was at night because they didn't like mortar rounds coming in on you, so we did it at night. And then we double timed on the plane. 175, of which 4 were lieutenants. I was one of those lieutenants. And we headed for California. Stopped a few places on the way. But what was interesting is no alcohol was allowed. TWA couldn't have alcohol, but the soldiers brought alcohol. So it was a fun, interesting flight, and the stewardesses, everybody was pinning their ribbons and their medals on the stewardesses. They started to look like North Korean generals, actually, towards the end. But we were coming into San Francisco. Plane was losing altitude. The pilot comes on the intercom and says, "Anyone want to see the Golden Gate Bridge?" And of course, everybody says yes. So we did the old wing thing, and we could look ahead at it, whatever the minimums are for an airplane. I'm not sure what they are, but it felt pretty low. Then we did a left turn into Travis, landed. They loaded us onto a military bus, no air conditioning on a military bus. This was August. And we headed down to the Oakland Army Base. They gave us a copy of the Chronicle newspaper. The freeway was just packed full of cars. I was reading the Chronicle. The Giants were still losing. It's like nothing had changed since I left. So, and then my parents came up and picked me up after we processed out and went home. So, first thing I did notice when I got home is people didn't want to talk about Vietnam, and especially did not want to talk to Vietnam veterans. They were nervous around us for some reason, but I did take that in. I would say that because the unit was a combat unit, 9 or 10% of the military are in the point of the spear type units. There was a major amount of camaraderie and team building, and we were together 24 hours a day in the jungle. Most of the time I was there, and so as a result of that, the bonds were very strong, and even today they're probably stronger than they were then. When the people in my unit, when they rotated out, they were very proud of being in our unit and being in Vietnam, fighting for their country. And I know that when they got to the airports in San Francisco, a lot of them took their uniforms off because of what was going on there. But they were proud of their service, and I was proud of my service and proud of the guys I served with. And I think that civilians may know that already, but it's important for them to know that when you're in the military, it's a brotherhood, and you know you're there to protect your country, and that's what you do. Speaking of Vietnam, this memorial that you see in the background is dedicated to all the veterans in the Santa Clara Valley and even out of the valley. Even though it's located in Los Gatos, it's here for everybody, all veterans and all different branches of the service. We have a lot of papers here of Vietnam veterans, World War II, Korea, the current wars. So with that in mind, we're here to serve the veterans, and we'd love to see you show up down here. And even if it's on your own, we're located right next to, in front of the police station, right in the town center on Main. I believe the address is 110 Main Street, Los Gatos.